Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the all-new 2019 Subaru Forester Sport. Big shout out and thank you to Mark Miller Subaru here in the Salt Lake area for providing me with the vehicle to review today. Sport is a new package for 19 that adds some really cool accents and aesthetic appearances to the vehicle, but let's just get right into that. So popping under the hood here, we have a 2.5 liter flat 4-cylinder, and this is naturally aspirated. It produces 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. That again is through a CVT transmission. It is going to be good for 26 miles per gallon around town, 33 on the highway, and then you're at a combined of 29. And what you're all going to be asking is, where did the turbocharged engine go? They sadly do not offer that engine anymore. However, this engine does get better fuel economy than the turbo 4-cylinder that they had, and it's got more than enough power to move this vehicle around. Wrapping things up front, we can see Subaru's signature headlights that kind of go to those sharp edges to make them look a little bit more aggressive. Again, they have the projector bulbs there, and then down below you can see the fog lamps. And then you can see this nice red trim along the bottom of the bumper, and if you're going to notice, you're not really going to see anything other than the Subaru logo that has chrome. Everything is kind of blacked out with this sports trim, and so it definitely gives it a much more aggressive and then sportier look as well. If we pop around to the side, we can see these beautiful black rims that Subaru has on the sport trim that definitely give it a much more aggressive and sporty look. And then you can see that stripe continues to the bottom of the car. You can see the mirrors, they kind of do the painted on, and then they do the kind of black on the bottom. And you can see the nice roof rails up top, and then you can see again there's more of that red trim up there as well. Popping around to the back, you can see in red again there's sport, and then you can see it all along the back, and then there's that singular exhaust tip out there, and then this is the key fob. Again, Subaru's new key fob that comes with it. If you hold this down, that will unlock the back tailgate, so then you can pop that right up. It is a hydraulic function on it. And then you can see they put a nice cargo cover back here. Again, Subaru with giving you the rubber floor mats and the cloth floor mats with sport on it as well. You get a little 12-volt outlet. They've got tons of storage space back here, so that you can store things. And again, you can fold those rear seats down if you need a little bit extra storage space in the rear. Around to the side, we can see that continues more of that stitching right there again in that beautiful red, and you get nice soft touch here. And then I love how they've done the cloth on the sides of the door. It definitely gives it a very cool look. They continue that to the center of the seats with more of that stitching as well. You can see the nice sunroof up here. And then you get little charging stations down there. Tons of legroom for the rear passenger. Coming around to the side, you get that keyless entry system that Subaru has with the upgraded key fob. So you just have to touch that to lock it, and then one touch that to unlock it. You can see we've got all of our controls here for the windows, mirror control as well. You've got your seat adjustment controls with lumbar right there. And then this does come with auto stop start function to save on fuel when you're driving around town. You can turn that off right there if you don't want that. Trip right there. Step in height, since this is an SUV, is really good, so it's really easy to get in and out of. We'll start off on the steering wheel right here. So you have your volume controls, Bluetooth, cruise controls right over there. Start up the vehicle is put your foot on the brake, push the push start button, and it'll start right up. And then just like the Impreza, you have those little paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel there. Your traditional gauges with the tachometer and speedometer, except you can see it says Sport right over there, and then you can get your MPG and everything there. But then you do get another display here that gives more vehicle info with fuel economy, outside temperature, all that. And then Subaru's touchscreen system. Very easy to use. Super quick responding and all that. And you can see here you do get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so you just connect your vehicle up and you can use all of that. Have your analog controls right here. Wrap things up on the audio portion. In terms of the sound system, it has the Rockford Fozak sound system, so it's more premium sound system. It is an upgrade on this vehicle. but it's definitely an upgrade that I'd recommend to go for if music is something that's important to you, because the sound quality and the sub on the sound system are a lot better, obviously, and so then overall it makes the music experience so much better. You have your controls here for the temperature, that are analog controls, and then you've got your shifter here that goes with those paddles if you want to shift the gears yourself. And then since this is an SUV, obviously you get your different drive modes. This is your parking brake, but you can see you have your little drive mode selector right there. So you've got your normal mode, your snow, mud, snow, dirt. You can see you can just go through the different modes right there, and obviously your heated seat controls as well. And then we can open up the glove box to see tons of storage space in there, and then obviously you do get a center console as well that has even more storage space. And then this is nicely leather lined, and then you have the nice stitching as well to make it comfortable. And then you can see that big sunroof on the interior that lets tons of light in. It's kind of like almost the best way for me to describe it is kind of like a half panel, because it's bigger than a traditional sunroof, but it's not quite a full panoramic. And so it's definitely a neat idea, because you still do get the traditional open and close function on it, which I really like. Button right here for the sunroof, and then you have your controls for the lane departure assistance, and then you've got your collision warning that you can turn both of those functions off. Right over here, your sunglass holder as well. Wrap things up on the interior. We're going to go to the backup camera again. You can see it's got those nice trajectory lines. I don't know if they're coming through onto the camera very well, but as you turn the steering wheel, the little lines turn as well, so it makes backing up this car a lot easier. We are starting off here in the all-new 2019 Forester Sport. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, they did get rid of the turbocharged engine options for this car. And so now it's just this naturally aspirated 2.5 liter, which, you know, some people may be a little bit disappointed because they like the extra power, but you're not going to be disappointed in the fact that you're going to be getting a lot better fuel economy numbers. And the Forester actually isn't all that big of a vehicle. It's got a ton of storage space, but it's not like a huge heavy vehicle, so it does not need a ton of power to move it around. Driving around so far, even though this is an SUV and it's a little bit higher off the ground, which obviously is going to be nice because you get more ground clearance, you don't really suffer in terms of ride quality. It rides very smooth. And again, the steering on this is actually very direct. It just goes right where you put it. And again, as I mentioned earlier, they have a ton of safety tech that they put it on these cars as, you know, standard equipment nowadays. And it's just nice to have all of that, you know, when you can have stuff like the adaptive cruise control and the lane departure assistance and, you know, the forward collision warning, blind spot monitoring, all that kind of stuff. When you can get a lot of that equipment, obviously some of it's optional, but a lot of it nowadays on the Subarus is standard equipment. And so then it makes it so that you don't have to pay all this extra premium to get this safety equipment, because it just comes standard with the vehicle anyways. And so that it makes it a much more relaxing driving experience, because you have all that safety tech to keep you safe while you are driving. So we're about to go on the interstate to get a little bit of an acceleration, see how it handles on the highway and all that, to, you know, test out this new motor. And you know what, kind of like I said earlier, yeah, the turbocharged motor is a little bit quicker, but this is more than enough power. I mean, I'm not struggling to get up to highway speeds by any means. I don't feel like I have to rev out the motor or anything like that. I mean, it's more than enough power for this vehicle to move it around. And it's actually up in power figures from Subaru's previous engine that they put in this that was naturally aspirated. And so overall, with the better fuel economy and with the current power outputs, it's a perfect combination. Overall, driving on the highway is very relaxing. All of the safety tech is obviously keeping me safe while I'm driving, so I don't have to feel like it's a stressful situation or anything like that. The Forester drives very smooth over the roads. And so if you need a little bit more space, and obviously you want, you know, better off-road capability, then the Forester would be a great offering to go for, because you get that higher ground clearance of an SUV and the better step in height of an SUV, but then you don't suffer from normal SUV issues, which is worse fuel economy, because this gets fantastic fuel economy as well, and it drives smooth. And so you kind of get all the pluses of going to an SUV without any of the negatives. So to wrap things up overall on the Forester, kind of like I said, if you need a little bit more ground clearance, you just like SUVs in general because of the versatility and the space in them, definitely check one of these out, just because of fuel economy, and obviously the symmetrical all-wheel drive system that all the Subarus have makes it so this handles great in adverse conditions. And then all the safety tech that they put, a lot of it that they put standard equipment nowadays, which just makes this overall a great offering, a very safe offering to go for. We have it, everyone, the all-new 2019 Forester Sport. Thank you so much for watching. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe, leave a like if you liked the video, comment down below what you thought, and then again, a huge shout out and thank you to Mark Miller Subaru here for providing us with a vehicle. Again, you can see they just have a ton of inventory. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see all of you in that next video.